like Dan said, my name is Valerie McDaniel, and I'm going to be talking about how to harness your creativity to be a productive creative, which sounds very, very obvious. It's circular logic, but I believe that we can be creative in all aspects of producing something creative, and you're going to hear me say creative way too many times. So the conundrum that we have is that we think outside the box, we're imaginative, sometimes we're so stuck in our heads we don't have the words to express what we want to do or how we're going to get there. And we have to match that with a certain level of discipline. We have to try again when we fail. We have to have consistent practice. We have to really cultivate and work at our art. And finding the energy to do that when you have a day job is really, really hard. We don't have the same number of hours as Beyonce because we don't have personal assistants and nannies. It's not very fair. And then to make matters worse, since we're creative, can be creative about our excuses, how we justify to ourselves as to why we're not being creative. But at the same time, if our excuses are exemplifying our creativity, our reasons and how we motivate ourselves can exemplify our creativity. Everything from how we get people on board to help us complete a project, how we get ourselves to even start a project, how we get ourselves to even finish that project, or spread the word once we actually have a product. You really do have the power in you. But before I continue, I need to admit to something. I'm a complete hypocrite. 2016 has been very, very unproductive for me creatively. I identify as a musician, as a wannabe stand-up, as a writer, plenty of ideas. None of them have been seen to fruition except this talk. This talk has been my first product of 2016. So to kind of exemplify, give you some ideas, I'm going to talk about my talk. So I like to start at the end. I like big ideas. I like to know when I can celebrate what is the final goal. So for this talk, my end goal was submit my slides on time and be confident in my 5 minutes. I knew what I was about to do. And from there, I had to do small goals. And here you'll see a lot of variety amongst your peers and even within yourself. I want to be able to have little celebrations. These have to be doable. They have to be realistic, with a little push. The good news is if you're doing nothing at this point, anything is a little push. You may, depending on who you are, you may want to do these small goals in one sitting, so you feel like you're always doing something every time you sit down to accomplish one of those goals. Your creativity can go even further as to what you put in these goals to get yourself motivated to actually do them. For me, I personally like short work times, telling myself I only need to do something for 10 minutes. I also like to loom the possibility of disappointing others and guilt. So having a writing partner helps. Booking things before I'm anywhere near having a product also helps. Just fear. So to start this particular project, my first two goals, they were fun and they were really easy to do. I mean, I had to remember what I was going to talk about. I had to, pick my outfit. But I was doing something. And then I had to get into more nitty-gritty. I had to actually outline the talk. This was a good reminder because my one shower, and I had my outline. Do not deny the power of your bathroom time. Sometimes that's the only time you can be productive. And then I also had another lesson. I wanted to have my slides together by Wednesday. That didn't happen, and it was a good reminder that when your small goals don't go as planned, that doesn't mean your whole entire project needs to be scrapped. The end goal is not necessarily compromised. So then the goals I had to loop was just see how long it is, then scrap some stuff. See how long it is, then scrap some stuff. And I still got to give my pat on the back every time I did it once around. So it's good. So somehow I managed a week and a half later to actually be a somewhat productive creative, had this talk, and so I guess I can give myself a pat on the back. I guess I can have cake if anyone wants to join me. But this is very quick. There's lots of nuances to this. So if you want to continue the conversation, feel free to talk to me personally or follow me on any of these platforms. I'd love to support each other. I'd love to talk to you further. Thank you.